Hey guys, on today's episode, we'll do a review of this Powermatic Mortiser. It's awesome.
The bed of this machine features a fully adjustable stop, as well as a quick close vise. The bed can be raised up to 30 degrees for angled mortises. It also features an integrated depth stop. Built-in stops also limit travel along the x-axis of the bed. It uses a 1 horsepower, 120 volt motor.
When you go to install a chisel, it's important that you find the right size collet for the chisel that you're going to use. We'll be installing a 3/4 inch chisel, and that's going to take this medium sized collet. There you go.
It's important to install a spacer in between the chisel and the collet. This will allow for a small space to be created in between the drill bit and the end of the chisel to allow a place for chips to escape whenever cutting occurs. This will prevent excess heat from building up, which eventually would ruin your drill bit. The manual says to choose a spacer between 1/16 and 3/16 of an inch, depending on the material that you're cutting, as well as the size of the mortise. Now the bit has been secured and the chisel is still loose, we'll install a piece of wood that I know is true and square. This will allow me to square the chisel to the fence. I'll also ensure that the bed is square to the chisel.
I was able to pick this up on Craigslist recently. Like most of you, all I've ever done in the past for my mortises is to do traditional chisel work. It takes time, takes effort, but it's really rewarding. It's awesome. It pays off. And in my mind, when you're able to use hand tools as much as possible, you kind of put your heart into a project and it makes that project that much more meaningful, which is really the reason that I build. But when you're doing like 40 mortises on a project, it's really time consuming and it really slows you down. I'd been in the market for quite a while for a mortiser and had really been looking at the benchtop models, and the different reviews that I saw on those benchtop models, it seems like they did a pretty good job, but there was a lot of problems just with holding the work in place and repeatability and that type thing. And so as much as I can, I love to buy things off Craigslist for a bargain. This thing was actually in the next town over from me, and I paid just about the same I would have paid for a decent benchtop version, but I couldn't be happier with the results. Just really nice, clean mortises. This is going to have mortises going through both directions here, but man, so far I've loved it. The build quality of the tool, and then the ability to hold the work, move the work precisely and efficiently, and in a repeatable fashion is really what sets this machine apart. For the price that I paid for it off Craigslist, I'm ecstatic. I couldn't be happier. Like most of you, all my mortises in the past, it's so cold today I can't hardly talk. It's Minnesota. I grew up in Oklahoma. It's cold up here. Cold. Kind of like my wife. Anyways,